Okay, help me. I'm going to Bali for the first time, panicking. I mightn't even be going for the first time, I might be going for a number of times, but this might be a better way to help you through and give you some advice on the different ways to enjoy your trip and different ways to go about things, how to go about maybe making long-term 2 to 3 month stays. But this covers just about everything, I hope, and I hope it takes the angst out of some of the things that can at times make it difficult when coming to Bali. As you know, it's a place, or if you don't know, it's a place of sort of organised mayhem, but just take a big deep breath and let's jump into what we should do. The first off is obviously going to book a time and a place. It could be anything from 3 days to 3 months, but in any case you're going to need to have a visa to enter Bali. They have a 30-day stay for the average holiday, which is extendable again for another 30 days, making a total of 60 days. That's about $50 Australian, then another $50 for the second month. But that's 2 months stay if you wanted it. So that can be rather daunting if you don't, when you get to Bali, because you can pay the $50 for your stay at a counter in Bali, in which case you've got to line up. There's lots of people entering Bali, as you can imagine, or Denpasar Airport. That can be a long road, but you get it done and you can get through, providing you're patient. That could be a way for you to go. However, I'm going to offer some advice, and this goes for whether you're staying 30 days or 6 months. And I strongly recommend that you actually apply for a visa online. For those that don't use anything online or aren't familiar with it, then I guess you wouldn't be watching this video because you wouldn't know how to use YouTube. But so I'll just step through this. The best way I've found is to apply for a visa online through the Ministry of Immigration in Indonesia. First trap, when you go Google or go online for this particular site, the Ministry of Immigration, or for a visa, you're going to have a lot of sites jumping in between you and the actual Department of Immigration. Strongly advised getting clear of that and actually go to the actual site. I will leave the site address in my below description. Go into that, just follow the information on there and be brave and hopefully you will receive, providing you've filled out the form correctly, what they call an e-visa, which you go through electronic gates when you get to Bali. It's just your passport onto a photo, go through gates, you're in. Otherwise you've got to line up with the Department of Immigration and wait in lines and lines as people get processed. That could be a way for you if you feel safe doing that, but doing it online, if you prepare yourself and just follow the instructions, you should be okay, and you will receive an approval that your visa's okay, and away you go. Make sure the dates are right. So here's some traps though. Sometimes electronic gates don't work, in which case it's a pain. You've gone to the electronic gates, you've bypassed all the people lined up, and you get to the e-gates, and for some Balinese unknown reason they don't work. So just keep trying each gate to go through. If that doesn't work, just get the attention of, usually there's an attendant there, and they may help you get through the line quicker because you've gone about doing the electronic visa. So it's not 100%, but it's pretty good. Now, applying online, the tourist visa is simple. Give yourself at least 10 working days before you go to go online, fill it out and pay your $50, and you'll get back an approval. No reason why you wouldn't, other than if you've been naughty. And it's quite a simple process. If you want to stay, and that's just called a tourist visa. If you want to stay for longer than a month or two, I'm currently staying here for 3 months. I've got what they call a C1. This is current as of August 2025. A C1 is the old B211A. So if you get that number, C1. When you go into the Department of Immigration site, they'll ask you for the length of stay and they will direct you to which visa you should be going to. A lot of people, once they get past the tourist visa, however, if they want to go for longer, like this C1 gets you 60 days, 60 days, 60 days, almost half a year, renewable each 60 days, or extended each 60 days. And it's quite easy. The only difference between a tourist visa and the C1 is that you have to provide your banking details and indicate that, first of all, that you've got a place to stay, that they can get hold of you, and secondly of all, that you have enough money in the bank to to be able to stay for that length of time. Usually that's, when I applied for it, it was 2,000 Australian dollars, and I had to have it in my bank account for 3 months prior to departing, so I just chucked $3,000 in a bank account. So when I photocopied the balance, it read from whenever it was, April to June, and ticked that went okay, and I was asked for no more information, and within the promised 10 working days my visa was approved, and it was an electronic visa, and it came back no problem. If you want to go for a C1 above the tourist visa, a lot of people out there say, oh, it's all too hard, go to a third party to have them do it. I did that last year when I came over, and I used Bali Legals. I have no complaints about Bali Legals, very efficient. But it cost me $400 to have them do it. It cost me nothing this time, so I saved $400 just to myself, and my wife's another $400, so that was $800 I saved by doing it directly online. A little bit palpitating of the heart. You think, oh, is it going to be right? Well, it is. One of the reasons, of course, is that when you get a third party to do it, they are sponsoring you, so they don't need your bank details. To some, that may be a showstopper. To me, it certainly wasn't. Okay, so you've got your visa approved, and do what I always do. I photocopy it. Despite our electronic age and things on phones, you never know what can happen. So I photocopy my airline tickets, my visa, and my medical, and I keep it in a folder, easily accessible when I get to where I'm staying. So if anything happens to me, that somebody can easily access that by paper. It doesn't take much to do that. If you haven't got a printer at home, just go to Office Works, you do it in 2 seconds flat. So that's your visa. You've got through your visa, you've already booked your accommodation, presumably, and you're set to go. Okay, on arriving, usually the place you book with, certainly if it's a short stay, just a tourist, they will pick you up at the airport. Don't be fazed by that when you come through immigration. You get out into the forecourt, there's signs and people everywhere. Well, welcome to Bali. Just look for your name or the hotel, make your way towards them or wave at them, and then enjoy your holiday. So that's sort of getting through the airport. You may want to take, say, $100 Australian and just change that on the way through the airport at a money changer, just to get some local currency in your hand in case you may need it. Once you're here a few days, you might want to do more, and you do that through a reputable money exchanger, not just anyone on the street that says they can exchange it. Okay, we're through. Short-term stay, have a good time, don't drink too much, and if you think you're drinking too much, or you're drinking a lot of fluid, if you're drinking beer, you're not, make sure you drink heaps of water because it just sweats out of you here. Some things I've found useful once I've got through, and bearing in mind mine's a 3-month stay, not a week stay, is the unbelievably good apps you can find, which I will leave in the description again, that I find very, very handy and no nonsense. The first one, just to get around, is and available in the App Store online, is the Gojek app. That's G-O-J-E-K, or Grab, G-R-A-B. They're one's a Malaysian company, one's an Indonesian company, Gojek, but they're merging and putting a lot of their services together. So any one of those two apps, or both of them, are certainly a recommendation. You can get around Bali or around the streets of eastern or western Bali, Kuta, Sanur, Canggu. You can get around using these apps. It's just simply provide your credit card details as you would with anything else. Don't be afraid of that. And then you simply go into the Gojek app, say where you are, where you want to go to. They'll send back a price. Once you've accepted that, they're here within 5 minutes. The trip is fantastic. It's about probably less than half the price you would pay wrangling with somebody on the street. There's a few of the old timers that still get out there and want to take you on trips and things, or be able to take you, but to be honest, by the time it's a good way to support them, I suppose, but they are generally dearer, and you've got to go through all that business of negotiating, and 500 no, 250 no, 300, Gojek's clean, easy, and they're everywhere, and I can't recommend them enough. I'm not being paid by them, just saying that. So that's to get around the place. If you're here and you're looking to go to another destination for a few days, you might base yourself in Legian or somewhere and say, oh look, I wouldn't mind going to Lombongan Island, which is beautiful. Highly recommend the booking.com site. It's, at the end of the day, it's probably the most reliable. Well, I've never faulted them actually. The prices are good, the service is great, and it's just done and dusted in a click. However, now being in Bali, you're unfamiliar with the territory, and if you wanted to go to a place like Lombongan Island, there's a fast boat involved. What we've always found is that whoever you book with, ask them to get you there. So if you're in Legian, you simply contact them and say, I'm in Legian, I'm staying at your place on the X dates. Can you arrange for me to be picked up and go across on the ferry? Now you might have to pay when you get to the ferry or the fast boat, you pay, but they've already booked it through for you, and I think that's the easiest way to go. Failing that, get on to Gojek or Grab and do the booking yourself. Okay. There is another app called Get Your Guide, which is excellent for, it's a worldwide app. It's a little bit like booking.com, very efficient. If you want to do a trip somewhere for a day or a couple of days, or you want to go snorkeling or diving or surfing, anything that involves that, it's worthwhile having a look at them. Once again, details in the description. They're called Get Your Guide. We used them, we had a visitor who wanted to go and see the Czech dance out at Uluwatu Temple. We're staying in Sanur at the moment. Very crowded out on that Uluwatu Peninsula, but for about $50 each, we got picked up at the hotel, taken out to a coffee plantation on the way, had a quick cup of coffee. The entrance fee was paid. We went and toured the temple, watched the monkeys, saw the sunset, and then went to the Check dance. And all that $50 was inclusive of transport, entry ticket, and the Check dance with a guide that just picked us up, looked after us, and dropped us back again. So, highly recommend that, and you can do that for almost any, any activity you want. The other thing I think you need when you come to Bali is a pocket full of patience. Don't be, please get on Bali time pretty quickly and be patient with everybody. Be patient with service, although we're not complaining about the service is excellent, food service, etc. But just be patient, don't blow up. All little stalls and things, they're just trying to earn a living. It's part of their culture is bargaining. So they see things more of a challenge than we do. So just have a bit of patience. The one thing I did want to put out separately is health insurance. Health insurance, don't squib on health insurance. You never know what might happen over here. You can trip over, get run over by a bloody motorbike, come off a motorbike or scooter, and that's a whole subject on its own. Scooters, safety, and getting around yourself. But get a reputable company. I nearly went for health insurance on my credit card. It looked good, everything about it looked good, but it didn't, and it was allegedly no charge, and it was backed up by Allianz, which is a really good company. But you hear some horror stories about insurance, and especially over here, Medivacs. You see a lot of GoFundMes for people that have brained themselves on the footpath or something. Take the time, go to Google your travel insurance. Make sure, don't necessarily go for the cheapest. Go for the one that absolutely spells out what you're covered for. It may be $100 extra, who knows? But I'm over the age limit of where health insurance was cheap. I'm on the dearer end of it, and for my wife and I, for 3 months was $1,000, all inclusive. We did ours through our health insurance, private health insurance, who was laid it off to Allianz as well. But we have used it and highly recommend, not necessarily that company, but just spend 5 minutes or so looking at what you got for health insurance. Very important. Okay, for accommodation, if you're staying longer than a week or two, or if you want to stay beyond a month, so you're looking at 2, 3, 4, 5 months. This is how I assess the accommodation. First of all, looking online is very difficult. If you're going to do longer term accommodation, it's always wise to have a look around firsthand at what you're going to get. Don't trust online photos is the thing. But the other thing is that you need to get an idea of how much long-term rental is in Bali, like a year. If you say, well, okay, if I want to leave work, give up, retire in Bali for a year and rent for a year, how much would it cost me? And of course that varies, from how far you are from the beach, from the shopping centre, like it does at home. There's varying rates. But you'll find, in most instances, if you find a place that you do like and it is everything that you're looking for, that they will discount. The tariff or the fee isn't necessarily what you can negotiate it down to. And the rule of thumb I use is that if you lived here for 12 months, find that sort of accommodation, how much that would be. So say that'd be 32 grand for the year, and I'm talking pool, services, near the ocean, all that sort of thing. 32 grand a year. So if you're staying for 3 months like we are, and you can get a place that for 3 months that is a quarter of 32,000, 3 months being a quarter of a year, and it works out to be $8,000 for 3 months, you're doing extremely well because you're here for a lesser time with all the bells and whistles that you get, for 12 months. So that's the rule of thumb I use as to whether you're getting good value for money or not. Simply, what would the 12 months tariff be if I stayed here for 12 months? Then divide it by the amount of time you're going to be here, and if it comes out to be an annualised figure similar to 12 months, then you're doing well. That's what we've done. We've been able to manage to get the current tariff down from $150 a night to $90 a night. So simply because we spoke, and we liked the place. We told them what we're after, and we're probably going to do that for a few years now. So always wise to do that for accommodation. Shorter stays, booking.com by all means, or recommendations from friends so that you can get up them if it doesn't turn out the way you want it. The other thing is VPNs. Now, when you're in Indonesia, they've got very strict internet laws of what you can see and what you can't see. Very limited. And also, if you're subscribed to, say, Netflix or Amazon or something like that, and you've got a great package at home, like I've got BritBox, for example, on Prime or Amazon, when my iPad says, well, you're in Indonesia now, all that drops off. I can't get that anymore because it's recognising you're not in an area where you pay that price for that area. So if you're watching series or you want to relax a bit one afternoon in the air conditioning, you may not find that your subscriptions are what you thought they were whilst in Indonesia. So for a small amount of money you can buy off online a VPN, which is like a search engine that says you're in another country. It's legal in Indonesia. Indonesia will not, if you've got one of those, they're not going to come knocking on your door and throw you in jail or anything. They're about $20 a month while you're here, so for 3 months it's $60. And they allow you to access, you put that your address is in Australia in the VPN, and then you'll be able to watch all the stuff you watch at home, on your subscriptions. And I find that really helpful. The one that, and I'll leave it in the description again, that I use is ExpressVPN. It's in the App Store as well, and I find that it's really good. Other than the footy, and they've always got Aussie rules and NRL in some club or pub somewhere around the place, that you'll be able to watch your favourite. Remember, it's 2 hours earlier here, so if the game's at 4 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock here. So that's you don't miss anything. That's great. Can I ask too that if you like the information that we give here, that you subscribe, hit the like button and subscribe. My channel is called the Macleay Explorer because I don't just do Bali. We've done trips around southern New South Wales and we've done Bali before. I've got lots of content. Some of it is more landscapey than it is informative, but I intend to give more information, as that tends to be helpful to people, so that's what I want to do. So please subscribe. It'll help me feel important. So the other thing, that if you're looking to save a bit of money or not necessarily throw it away, everybody gets hung up about SIM cards. We don't use one. I simply put my phone on airplane mode, when I leave Australia, and when I get here, I downloaded WhatsApp. I'll leave that in here in descriptions. And WhatsApp, as long as you've got Wi-Fi, and there's Wi-Fi everywhere in Bali, far better than Australia. Whenever you've got Wi-Fi, wherever you go, you can use your phone, text. Once you establish a relationship with the place you stay, they don't like you to use the website or anything else, or emails even, because they get stolen. They use WhatsApp. So I guess the message there is your security is not necessarily online as it appears. There's lots of dummy sites, so make sure whatever site you get on, or if you're using Wi-Fi for messages or whatever, just get a secure app, you know, and make sure you're dealing directly. That way you'll have no issues. I have heard of horror stories of people booking holiday for a month in a villa, only to find out that the villa owners didn't know anything about them, and that somebody else had collected their money and they had to find another place to stay. But anyway, that shouldn't scare you off. Don't let that scare. Booking.com, you can't go wrong. So I hope you find this informative, and tell your friends, and by all means, if there's more information you'd like from me, or that I can find out for you, just leave it in comments below and I'll do so. But basically 3 chunks. Get your visa right and do it online. It's not that hard and you'll save a lot of money. Get your apps right and your communication and getting around the place right through your apps. Explore pricing if you want to stay for a length of time. Health insurance is very important, depending on your age, I guess, but I think it's important. And look, enjoy your stay. Just get to that level of Bali that is not all in your face, or you feel it's in your face. There's a great culture in this place, and I'll leave a little tipper to that at the end of this for you to enjoy, but it's a welcome place to freedom. It's a very, very happy place. So, hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, like. See you in the next one.